What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, world? What up, world? What up, world? What up, world, man? Hey, man, this your main man. I am DJ Double Dose, man, coming at you, man. We coming in. We coming, man, with another episode of Double Dose of Reality Sports, man. And I just want to say, man, I just want to say thank you for all the support for the FSU LSU reaction video. I mean, it was pretty awesome. I mean, Florida State handled their business. We already talked about it on multiple shows. We done lives. You know what? It's time to turn the page, man. The game is over with. You know what I'm saying? Act like you've been there before, because at the end of the day, Florida State has won 3 national championships in my lifetime that I have all witnessed. So you know what? I know what the top looks like. I know what the pinnacle looks like. But what we are here for today on this show, man, you know what? I skipped over this last week because I wanted to make sure that when I gave y'all predictions and picks, I wanted to make sure that I included the NFL, because that's what we do over here, man. We not only cover college, we also cover NFL as well, man. And I got mad thoughts about the NFL. I mean, you know, last night, my homeboy. But in all fairness, let's just keep it real. Let's be real. In all fairness, he didn't have Kelsey. And we know how Mahomes and Kelsey work and how they operate. So we already understand that, and we already know how that goes. And that Detroit team is a good team. I think, unless you, again, I hate to use that phrase, but unless you was on the rock or something last year, Detroit has a solid squad. They picked up Jamar Gibbs in the draft, one of the sleeper picks. Well, he really wasn't a sleeper, but one of the picks I told you about in fantasy. And, you know, you look at Amon St. Brown, I mean, hey, he was at, I told you, I got as much Amon St. Brown in my fantasy leagues as possible, man, because the dude is as you saw on full display, dude is a dog, man. And, you know, shout out to Detroit, man. Maybe this might be a year of them continuing to build on the success that they had last year. Hey, man, they went into the defending champs' house and they handled business, man. It is what it is, man. But we're going to stay on that tone. We're going to stay on that road with the NFL. Ooh, it's getting spicy already, man. You know what? The NFL never disappoints, because in week 1, they give us some matchups that people want to see. That's the one thing I'm going to say about the NFL, man. It ain't that many teams, so guess what? They going to make that schedule good and spicy. So let's come out the gate with it. We're not even going to waste no time with it. First game I'm talking about right now, the very first game, San Francisco 49ers, man. They are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, when you look at San Francisco, you look at the way the season ended last year. It wasn't disappointing because, I mean, injuries happen. And when injuries happen, you have to just tip your hat to the opponent. I mean, no knock on Philly. I mean, we were down to our practice squad quarterback. Need anything else need to be said? Okay. So, it's more so about what I'm expecting. What I'm expecting, Bosa finally got his money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Bosa got his money. He should come on in and be happy. Right now, Kittle is a little questionable, but, I mean, that's Kittle. He's going to have a questionable tag on him week to week. That's something he's going to have to live with, you're going to have to deal with. But the true definition of this game is going to come down to the young guys. I mean, we hate to always talk about the quarterback, but it's a quarterback-driven league. And you got Kenny Pickett. You got Brock Purdy. Both young guys. And I think that this game is going to be one worth watching. Honestly, it really is. That's why it's one of the ones that we picked, not because it's my team, but this is actually one of the more interesting games to watch, because you look at what Kenny Pickett, what they project him to do within this Pittsburgh offense and what Tomlin expects him to do. Will Najee have a bounce back year to help him out? Because last year, Najee, he was not the Najee that we had grown accustomed to. They were grown accustomed to seeing. So for me, I like our defense in this matchup a lot better than Pittsburgh's defense. I know I hate to go on that side of the ball because it's not as fun and exciting to talk about, but regardless of whatever happens with Brock Purdy, our defense still is one of the best defenses in the league. And Kenny Pickett is going to have to deal with that. And I think that, we're going to get up on them. We'll get up on them early. I think San Francisco gets up on them early, and we coast to the end. So I like San Francisco in this matchup. Give me San Francisco 24-17. Got us by a touchdown. That's what I'm going to rock with. So, hey, if you're betting, if you're gambling, put on your parlays, hey, I'm taking San Francisco 24-17. Do with that as you like. The very next matchup that we're going to discuss. Let's see, which one we want to go? Do we want to go Dallas and the Giants? Is that a Sunday night game? Or do we want to go Aaron versus Josh Allen? I'm going to say that last. I'm going to say, let's go Aaron versus Josh Allen, because this is one of those matchups that this is a division. And not only is it week one, it's not only just week one. This is the week one divisional game. So, ooh-wee. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. And they're giving it to us on Monday night. On Monday Night Football, we getting Aaron in his his official Jets debut. That preseason shit don't count. In his official Jets debut versus Josh Allen, man. Hey, the loser is going to be down 0-1 in the division off the goddamn bat. You feel me? So, no margin for error. None whatsoever. Look, we know what Buffalo is. We know what the weapons that Buffalo has, and we know what Buffalo wants to do. They want to push the ball vertically down the field with Diggs and Gabe Davis, and they want to, at times, they've gotten better with not running Josh Allen as much as they used to. Last year, he still ran the ball, but they're starting to value like, hey, we need this guy. We can't just be having him running all willy-nilly each and every time, taking a pounder, because we got bigger goals ahead of us. And with Aaron Rodgers, it's like, hey, let's watch a full game of him and Garrett Wilson. You got Cook that you went out and got. You still got Breece Hall. We know on the other side of the ball for the Jets, you got the sauce. You got sauce. Now, is Sauce going to stay on one side of the field? Is he going to lock him down? Is he going to lock Stephon Diggs up? I'm more interested in that matchup in this game than anything else. My eyes is going to be on what do they decide to do with Sauce. Do they decide to leave him on one side? Or do they let him trail to Stephon Diggs the whole game? That cat and mouse game right there, to me, is the matchup that I'm like, ooh, I'm just like digging. I'm digging to see that, because I when you have a lockdown or you have a pure corner as good as Sauce Gardner is, you like to see them trail the best receiver on the other team. You like to see it. A lot of times if you think back, a lot of times with Sherman and that scheme that they ran out there in Seattle, we didn't really see Sherman go up against the best all the time, because a majority of the time he stood on one side of the field and the receiver came over. If he didn't, he didn't. He really wasn't a go around, So for me, that particular matchup right there, will Stephon Diggs get the best of him? I don't know, because Stephon Diggs' footwork is crazy. Like, I don't know if y'all saw the footage of him and his brother. They were at like a camp or something, and they were going one-on-one, him and his brother, Trayvon, I think it's Trayvon, down in Dallas, him and his brother, and it's just like watching them two go at it, which is wild, because Stephon Diggs, man, his footwork and his route running is so precise, so that matchup right there is what intrigues me the most out of the whole game. But ultimately, and you may call this a homer pick. I don't give a damn if you do. It might be a homer pick. I could end up being very wrong with this. I very well could. And I'm going to stand on it. But that, to me, there's no way that Aaron is going to start off in his Jets debut 0-1. I feel like I think it's going to be not necessarily a shootout. I don't want to say it's a shootout, but I think it's going to come down to who ends up with the ball last. And I feel like the Jets, to me, will be able to get a stop that they need, crucial or not, critical or not, that they're going to get a stop. They're going to get a stop, get the ball back to Aaron. I don't think it's going to be a Hollywood type ending where it's going to be a walk-off tub at the end. I don't think it's going to be that. But I do think that when it's all said and done, I trust the Jets defense a little bit more than I trust Buffalo's defense. And because of that, I feel like the Jets will be able to get a stop when they need to, get Aaron the ball, get them in situations in a short field type situation, and the Jets are going to go ahead and pull it out. So give me the Jets in this matchup. I'm gonna stay in the 20s because I don't think this game reaches the 30s for either team. So give me the Jets in this matchup 24-20. 24-20. I got them winning by a nice, comfortable 4-point lead. Now, we got to hit them because it is Friday night, and a lot of my picks. Just so y'all know, and just a little housekeeping note for the show. A lot of the picks, I think, you know what, I like this. This feels good. We may do some play on words with like some happy hour type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, it was a Friday night. We were a little loose. You know what I'm saying? Getting everybody ready for Saturday morning. You know, then we got Sunday. You feel me? So, you got the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. That's our Sunday night game. That is our Sunday night game. You got Dallas versus the Giants. When you think about this matchup, the Giants have had good luck in these type games versus Dallas. They have. They really have had good. I don't want to say luck, but you know what I'm saying? They have been victorious in these type games, these night games against the Cowboys. Now, y'all can fact check me and tell me. I'm sure there's some weird stat out there that can tell us the exact amount of time the Giants met at night and whatever the case may be. After everything that has gone on in the offseason with the Cowboys, Darren Waller is questionable yet again. I don't know if the Giants were dependent on him. I would hope the hell not. I would hope the hell they weren't depending on Darren Waller. But he's questionable. Probably going to be out. Saquon got a little bit of his money. Now, he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get exactly what he wanted. He got a little bit of his money. He pretty much is on to prove it. They gave him a good little nice little chunk of change, 1-year contract. Pretty much, guy, go out here, do it, and then we'll sit back down and we'll see what we need to see. Okay? So you got that going on. The real question is going to be, do you believe in the Giants wide receivers? They got a lot of new faces. They got a couple of rookies. Do you believe in the Giants wide receivers? I know my show member on DSL podcast, I know Tuck would probably get on here and rip me to shreds because I know he know his team from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even about to go there with that. But the receivers have been an issue with the Giants. They haven't had that consistent guy that they could just say, hey, that's our guy. I mean, they've had a lot of people in that role who, for whatever reason, injuries, non-production, whatever the case may be. So it's been a while since you've been able to point to them and say, hey, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's our guy. That's who we're going with. So I say all that to say from the Giants. That's what I'm saying on the Giants side. The Cowboys side, life without Zeke. I mean, I don't think Zeke has been the most dominating back there. He hasn't been what he has in the past, but he still was a touchdown maker. Say what you want. Zeke knew how to get his ass in the end zone. And that's something that you cannot overlook. He knew how to get his ass in the end zone. That is something that he had a nose for that. He knew how to do that. Can Tony Pollard carry the load? We're going to see. He got injured last year in the playoffs. Is he fully healthy? You know what I'm saying? That's a question mark. Is he fully healthy? We know what Dak is capable of when Dak is running at his peak, we know what he's capable of. But it always goes to say, which Dak are we going to get? As much as it would would just make me smile because by this being the last game of the day, night game, the Cowboys mess around and take this L. It is going to be talked about for the rest of the night on every show in the morning. But I can't believe damn it, I got to take another sip. I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say. God damn. My bourbon don't even taste right because I'm about to say some shit I don't want to say. But in this matchup, I do think that Dallas comes out. I do think that Dallas comes out of this with the W. So I'm not gonna really talk too negative about Dallas in this matchup. I'm not. You know what? I gave y'all a little bit, throughout the summer. But you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna wait. Because if this thing goes left and the Giants pull this off, please believe I might be back on here Sunday night. But in this matchup, I'm gonna take Dallas this week. All jokes aside. I'm gonna take Dallas this week. I got the Cowboys pulling off the victory against the Giants in week 1, starting off 1-0 in the division. And because I think this division comes down to Philly and Dallas this year. That's just what I think. That's just how I feel. I think the Giants don't have enough to finish this off, and we don't know what the hell we about to get out of the Commanders. So this is going to come down to Philly and Dallas in this division. So in this matchup, I'm going ahead and I'm rocking with the Cowboys, man. Give me the Cowboys 31-27. 31-27. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. It ain't going to be many of these games that I actually pick the Cowboys. But for this week, I feel a little bit strongly about what they're going to be able to do versus the Giants. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me in this week. So that is our NFL picks for the week. We're going to go run through them real quick one more time. We're going to switch the page back over to college right quick, give a couple little matchups over there, and then we're going to get up out of this thing. So just to recap, we're taking San Francisco over Pittsburgh. We are taking the Jets over Buffalo. And we are taking Dallas over the Giants. Use that information. Roll with it if you want to. Place a bet. Do a parlay. Hey, man, it's all good because I got a couple that I'm rolling with. Anything you hear me say on this show, best believe it's going to be on my ticket. That's just facts. All right. So, flipping the page over to college. We got one monster matchup for the week. So we know what that is. And then we got two others that I want to get into. So the first one that I want to get into is the Jackson State versus Southern. Both teams are coming off of losses last week. I could say they both were humbled, if that's what you want to say. But I think that it's FAM's year. So that's just I've been saying that all season, and I'm going to keep right. I'm not going to change it up now. So I wasn't too surprised that Jackson lost to FAM. Actually, I expected it. I expected them to lose. So I'm not too surprised. The Southern one surprised me. I didn't see them losing to Bama State, but our boy Bubba wasn't having it. Was not having it. Southern had been doing a lot of chirping about how they've been whooping state ass, and well, that didn't quite happen. Now, did it? It didn't quite happen. So I think both teams are hungry. I think both teams are, I'm not going to say needing a victory, you know what I'm saying? But I think it'll make whoever wins this game is going to make them feel better about the trajectory of their season going forward. So for me, in this matchup, I got TC Taylor and Jackson State, man. I got Jackson State going ahead and taking care of business and beating up on Southern. Southern, they thought they got an answer. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't got an answer at quarterback. But we'll find out if they got an answer this week. We definitely gonna find out they got an answer this week. But in this matchup, give me Jackson State over Southern. I got Jackson State taking care of business over Southern. The next matchup we're gonna talk about. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because y'all, you Miami Hurricanes fans, man. Y'all a colorful bunch. Y'all are, man. Y'all are a colorful bunch. Like, y'all really are celebrating this victory over Miami, over like y'all up here talking about, man, our running game is okay, but it was Miami of Ohio. Like, I'm trying to figure out. That would be like us, me, Florida State fans celebrating us beating the shit out of Southern Miss. Just win the game and move on. You know what I'm saying? Just win the game, move on. So in the past, and as he beat y'all ass last year, Jimbo has been very successful against the University of Miami, dating back to the days of FSU. Jimbo don't lose much to Miami. He really don't. He really does not. But what intrigues me about this matchup is I think that this is when we're gonna know. What we're gonna find out in this game is we're gonna know how much of control that Petrino has on the offense. And that right there, that cat and mouse game right there is the whole game. Because this game was ugly last year. It was like, what, 17-9, 17-10, some low-ass scoring game. You feel me? So Miami still has their defense. Now, I have a question about Miami's corners. Miami safeties are pretty good. Question about the corners. And I think that if I can see it, I'm sure somebody who's getting paid millions of dollars can see it too. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's going to come down to that particular matchup. Texas A&M has a couple of real difference makers at wide receiver. They do. And when you look at I think his name was Watchman, whatever quarterback name. He got a weird ass name. What they're asking him to do, we're going to see it on full display. Because the one thing about Petrino is a amazing play caller. I mean, he if you go back to his days at Louisville, he would do things where you would see guys just running free. He knew how to dial up plays to get people wide open. Like, I mean, a lot of people, if you go back and you look at the Lamar years and he was at Louisville, man, hey, man, look, he's a great play caller. So, with that being said, I'll take his play calling and Jimbo's acumen against Miami over Cristobal any day of the damn week. And this isn't a hate pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all know how I feel about Miami. I love to watch them fall flat on their ass. It's ain't about that. It strictly is about the fact that I feel like we're going to find out if Petrino was really running his offense. And I think we're going to find out this week. So in this matchup, man, I'm taking Texas A&M. I'm taking Texas A&M. I don't think it's close. Give me Texas A&M 31-17. I just, that Miami offense, I got to see it against a quality opponent before I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because Tyler Van Dyke is still, I think the boy still share a shot personally. I don't know. It's something ain't right. He ain't seeing everything he need to be seeing on the field. So the running game for Miami is going to be legitimate. There's no doubt in that. I don't doubt the running game. But in this matchup right here, they're gonna need Tyler Van Dyke to actually deliver. And between him and their wide receiving core, I just don't see it. I think if they get to 20, I'd be very surprised. But this is feeling really, real 31-17-ish, 18-ish type action. So give me Texas A&M in this matchup. And right now, we got the last prediction, last pick of the day. We got the big boys. You know what I'm saying? Big boy. Big boy. And then you got them Texas hook Longhorns. You know what I'm saying? They say everything is bigger in what? In Texas. That what they say. That what they say. That what they say. I've gone to Texas. I've partied in Texas. I've ate in Texas. I had a good time in Texas, in various parts of Texas. I've been in El Paso. I've been in Houston. I've been in Dallas. I lived in San Antonio for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the state of Texas, you know? And they're coming to Tuscaloosa. Texas had a chip on their shoulder. They deeply in their hearts feel that if Quinn plays the whole game, they win last year. Because even without him, it took Bryce, the miracle worker, to pull this out his ass. And the help of some questionable officiating. Don't get on me, Bama fans. Y'all was good to me. Y'all was good to me. Don't get on me, Bama fans. But now, just to talk about Bama, then we're going to talk about Texas, then we're going to get out of here. The flip side to you can't take something from something. I know that sounds tongue twister. The same way I said you can't take what Miami did last week against their opponent. I don't want to read too much into what Milroe did, but for me, the difference is we saw Milroe throw the ball vertically. That's what raised my eyebrow like, okay. He's throwing the ball vertically. The things we heard out of camp about the receivers dropping the ball and all of that didn't seem to be much of a problem last week, but this is a different bear right here. You got Texas, and you got Texas with Sark, with a chip on his shoulder. You know, I mean, Sark, for all intents and purposes, he knows what Bama wants to run on defense. He does, but let's be clear. Look at Nick Saban's track record and what it is against his assistants. A lot of his assistants know what the hell he want to run, and they still ain't been able to, you know what I'm saying? They still ain't been able to close the door. It was seal the deal. So, for me, I think this game is going to be close. I think it's really going to be close. It's going to be. And if you're Texas, that's what you want. To beat Alabama, especially at home, the number one formula is make it to the fourth quarter. If you look at the teams that have been able to be successful and beat Alabama in Bryant-Denny, they were able to make it to the fourth quarter where the game was either close, they were up, tied, whatever the case may be. Make it to the fourth quarter. Bama has put a lot of people away in the first half or that early part of that third. So by the time you've gotten to the fourth quarter, you are one-dimensional. They've done that over the years. I mean, it's tried and true. You go look. They've done it to you name it. They've done it to them. So if you're Texas, the number one goal is no turnovers. That's number one. Number two goal outside of no turnovers is if you happen to get up, do not become complacent and happy with the lead. Continue doing whatever it was that you did to get up. Continue to do that. Do not switch up. However you get up, if you are in a lead, however you get up, you continue to do whatever it was that got you up. Because if not, Alabama's at home, and they are hard to beat in that stadium. That list with Nick Saban losing at home, it's a very short list. Now, I also want to point to Alabama's defense is nasty. I've said it. I've been saying it all summer. The defense is nasty. And Quinn, you got a little turnover machine-ish in you. I ain't gonna say you a turnover machine, but you got some turnover machine-ish tendencies in you. So, and Alabama knows that too. So, that goes back to the first point. No turnover. I mean, even if it is a turnover, because I know saying no turnovers is that turnovers are fluky, and it's hard to say no turnovers. I get that, but minimize your turnovers, capitalize on all of your possessions. May all of your possessions end in some sort of a kick. I know that sounds real cliche, but let it sink in and you'll get it. Because if all your possessions end in a kick, that means you ain't turned the ball over. Or unless it's the half. It's either the half or you ain't turned the ball over. That means you've either scored a touchdown to kick the extra point, you've kicked a field goal, or you have punted the ball. You haven't turned the ball over. Keys to victory for Bama, simple. Jalen Milroe. It's real easy. You're going to get tested. You're going to have to throw the ball in this matchup. I don't necessarily 100% believe in Texas's defense, but I do know that any smart defensive coordinator, not named House, who took his best person and decided in the biggest game of the year to move him off the ball. Anyway, sorry, that was my last look for real bad LSU. But I just feel like Texas, their number one goal is to take the running away from you. They're gonna, whether they have a spy on you, whether they scheme to make sure that they rush, that they rush wide to make you stay in. I mean, whatever scheme, whatever way they do it, they're gonna try to limit your running. So you're gonna have to ball downfield. And I'm not talking about deep shots, because a lot of times a deep shot is a deep shot. It is what it is. It's what you do in that 10 to 20 yard range. Can you stand in there and deliver and your receivers catch the ball? That is what's going to either make or break you in this game. And that's what we want to see that's what everybody wants to see from Milroe. We saw the deep balls last week. We saw that. Now, against better competition, can you find your reads, find your checks, get the ball where it needs to be accurately? Can you do that? This matchup is what's going to show us if you can or cannot, because Texas defense is not an SEC caliber defense, but it's not a bottom feeding defense either. So this is going to be a good test to see how you read and react to see defenses. Now, I know I said a lot. Everybody knows my playoff picks, and one of them is in this matchup, and one of them ain't. And the one that's in this matchup, in order for them to get to where I think they're going to get to, starts this week. Starts tomorrow night. Give me Texas. Give me Texas. Because I do think this game actually does get in the 30s. Give me Texas. 34-31. They walk out of it on the last second field goal, and they go home. I know it. That's what I got. I got Texas 34-31, man, winning the matchup, man. And those are my college picks and my NFL picks for the week. So just so we can quickly recap who we got. In the NFL, we got San Fran coming out victorious over Pittsburgh. We got Dallas coming out victorious over the Giants. And we got the Jets coming out victorious over the Buffalo Bills. College-wise, we got Jack State beating Southern. We got Texas A&M taking out Miami. And we got Texas taking out Bama. Those are my picks for the week, people. Thank y'all for listening to me, man. Always remember what I always say at the end of each show. Live, laugh, and love, man. Live your life to the fullest. Love on the people who love you. And find you something to laugh at each and every day, man. And we out.